Many years ago, before every family started locking their guest rooms and pretending not to be at home when visitors called, there lived a woman called Obianuju Eze. But everyone in the compound simply called her Madam Uju because she was neat, kind, and soft-spoken to a fault. She was married to Chibuzo, a man with a peaceful heart and a round face that always shone like new yam oil after church service. They lived in a 3-bedroom flat in Lagos, where the fridge always sang louder than the tenants upstairs, and where children were free to shout as long as their shouting didn't reach the landlord's window. Life was calm, predictable, and very organized. Well, until the day Aunty Nwaneka arrived. That day started quietly. The sun had not yet turned angry, and the children, Isioma and Ifenna, were in the backyard washing their school sandals. Uju was in the kitchen frying plantain when her phone rang. The caller ID showed Aunty Nwaneka Nsuka, and her heart skipped a beat because she knew that whenever that name appeared, peace was about to go on leave. She picked up gently and said, "Auntie, good morning, oh, long time." From the other side, a loud, dramatic voice came like somebody shouting through a megaphone inside a church. "Uju, my darling, Nwoma, Nwa Chineke, I am already on the road, oh. I am coming to Lagos today to see my nephew. You people have forgotten me finish now. I will just spend small 2 weeks, then I will go back." Uju's hands froze mid-air. Auntie, Lagos? You didn't even tell us earlier. We would have prepared. Prepare, Enkay, my dear. It is just a family visit, not a presidential inauguration. I am already at Opi Junction as we speak, self. Tell Chibu I am coming with love. And that was it. Before Uju could even finish frying the last batch of plantain, the woman had already called again to say she was at Holy Ghost Park waiting for a bus. By evening, the compound gates flung open and there came Aunty Nwaneka in full drama. She wore a shiny lemon green blouse with gold embroidery that could blind an innocent bystander. A long wrapper was tied above her stomach and a wig that looked like it had seen the face of God and returned. She dragged one Ghana must go bag and held 2 black nylons of roasted corn and granuts. "Uju, my daughter," she shouted and hugged her tightly. "You are even fatter than the last time I saw you. Marriage is sweeting you, eh? Chineke emela." Uju forced a smile and said, "Auntie, welcome. Oh. How was the road?" "My dear, the road was very wicked. Those bus drivers. If I tell you what they did, you will join me to pray. One even wanted to collect my roasted corn as if he paid bride price for it." Chibuzo came out smiling with that harmless grin he always used when he didn't know what to say. "Auntie, welcome. You didn't even tell us you were coming." My son, surprises are sweeter. I just said let me visit and rest small. Nsukka people have stressed me too much. Only 2 weeks so, and I'll be gone. I promise." But promises, as Lagos people knows, are sometimes louder than thunder and weaker than cobweb. That night, she ate like someone who hadn't seen stew in 2 months. She requested rice, plantain, and then asked, "Do you have small pounded yam to round it up? My mouth is doing somehow." Uju's eyes widened, but she said nothing. After eating, Aunty Nwaneka belched and declared, "Uju, your soup is too watery. Oh. A man that eats watery soup will soon start giving watery love." Chibuzo nearly choked on his water. Uju just smiled politely and said, "I will add more egusi next time, Auntie." "Good. And another thing, don't allow your husband to eat too much in the evening, oh. His stomach is already growing like a cassava bag. You know men, once they eat well, they will start sleeping instead of listening to their wives." She laughed alone. Nobody joined her. By the next morning, the household had officially lost its peace at exactly 4:45 a.m. While everyone was still dreaming sweet dreams, a loud voice erupted from the sitting room. "Jehovah! Jehovah! Anyone that wants to scatter this family, Holy Ghost fire! 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 Fire!" Uju jumped up thinking maybe armed robbers had entered. She rushed to the sitting room and met Aunty Nwaneka kneeling, shaking her head and banging the table. Auntie, it's not even 5 a.m. yet, Uju whispered. The children are still sleeping. My dear, that is the best time to talk to God. Enemies don't sleep, so why should I? Do you want me to fold my arms and let witches fry me like akara? God forbid. By 7 a.m. that day, the whole compound already knew that there was a new prayer warrior in flat 2. At breakfast, she began her second ministry, the Department of Unsolicited Advice. She told Isioma to stop wearing short socks to school because only doll girls wear ankle socks. She told Ifenna that men who wash plates early in life end up under women's control. And then she told Chibuzo that any man who lets his wife fry plantain without supervision will soon cry in court. Every statement ended with, I am saying it with love, oh. Yet, that love was draining faster than the household gas cylinder. Later that day, Uju's friends from church Ngozi visited. As they chatted, Aunty Nwaneka barged into the sitting room, sat in between them and started telling stories from 1972. Ngozi, do you notice my Uju? When she was newly married, she used to cook sand and say it is Gary. I am the one that corrected her. If not for me, she would have been sent out to a mechanic, not this my fine brother. Uju's face turned red, but Ngozi just smiled politely and sipped her malts. That night, when Chibuzo and Uju went to bed, she whispered, my love, please, let's agree, 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, she must go. Chibu laughed lazily. It's not that serious now. She'll soon get tired. Uju sighed. I hope so, because she has already opened her bag and brought 2 wrappers to spread in the guest room as if she's renewing rent. However, deep inside, Uju already knew that this visit was not ordinary, because even the way Aunty Nwaneka adjusted the curtain that night, like a woman marking territory, something in Uju's spirit said, this woman didn't come to visit, she came to settle. Soon enough, the 2 weeks Aunty Nwaneka promised came and went the same way Harmattan breeze goes, without any warning. Unfortunately, by the beginning of the 3rd week, she had started behaving like someone who paid rent. The guest room no longer looked like a visitor's corner. It had turned into a personal shrine of wrappers, perfume bottles, wigs hanging like sleeping bags, and a small bag of ground crayfish she called emergency seasoning. At first, Uju tried to maintain peace. She kept reminding herself that it was just temporary. But one Sunday morning, when she woke up and found Aunty Nwaneka sitting cross-legged in her favorite chair, fanning herself with her church fan and shouting instructions to the children like a field commander, she realized the woman had planted spiritual roots. Isioma, come here. Why is your skirt this short? Do you want to attract husband before WAEC? Sit down here and read your Bible. Ifenna, why are you wearing red socks on brown shoes? You look like traffic lights that lost direction. Uju just stood at the kitchen door, frozen between laughter and frustration. Auntie, they are late for Sunday school, oh. Late for what, my dear? Punctuality without holiness is useless. Even Chibuzo, who used to laugh off her drama, started noticing something was off. Every time he returned from work, the TV would already be tuned to old Nollywood films, and Aunty Nwaneka would be sitting there with her wrapper tied up to her chest, shouting at the characters, Neka, don't marry him, oh, he will use your womb for money ritual. Madam, calm down now, Chibu would say. It's just a movie. It's just a movie, oh, but that is how it starts. One day, film will happen to somebody in real life. And then slowly, she graduated into taking over the house in the most professional way. She moved all the plates to a new position in the kitchen for easier access, as she said. She poured all the ground pepper into a used bottle of Vaseline and arranged the clothes in the wardrobe according to spiritual color balance. One morning, Uju went to make breakfast only to realize her favorite non-stick frying pan had been replaced with an old rusty one. Auntie, where's my black frying pan? That's one. I gave it to Mama at the outside though. She said her daughter is going for NYSC and she needed a pan. You know giving is good for the soul. Uju nearly fainted. But auntie, that pan was new. My daughter, don't attach yourself to worldly things. You are too materialistic for a married woman, no. That day, Uju cried quietly in the kitchen while making pap. It didn't even end there, as the suspense in the house began to grow like a hidden wound. Monica would disappear for hours and return late at night with nylon bags. When Uju asked what she went out for, she would smile and say, "Just small business. A woman must hustle, you know." Yet, no one knew what business she was doing or where she was going. Sometimes, Uju noticed she would receive strange phone calls and speak in low tones. "Yes, no, don't bring it near the market, oh, they might see me. Okay, we'll settle that one later." Then, she would hang up and start singing hymns loudly as if to erase suspicion. One evening, Uju decided to talk to her husband. "Chibu, we need to set boundaries, oh. Your auntie is taking over the whole house." Chibu yawned, scrolling his phone. Calm down now. It's just family, oh. You know auntie is dramatic but harmless." "Harmless?" Uju hissed. "She's using your shaving stick to brush her eyebrows and claiming it is tradition. Yesterday, she told Isioma that if a woman wants to marry well, she should start kneeling to greet boys from now." Chibu laughed, but his laughter was weak. Deep inside, even he had started feeling uncomfortable. The last time he wanted to enter the kitchen, Auntie had stopped him halfway saying, "Chibu, don't enter the kitchen, oh. It is not good for men now. You will be turned into a household husband." The tension thickened further when Auntie began attending compound women meetings. She introduced herself as Madam Nwaneka Eze, senior wife of Chibuzo Eze. Uju heard about it from the gossiping neighbor, Mama Ifena, who came knocking one evening with her usual fake sympathy smile. "Uju, my sister, I just said I should tell you what I heard though. They said your husband's second wife joined our compound women's group today." "Second wife? Which second wife?" Uju asked. "The one that lives with you now and prays like trumpets every morning. She even collected the chairman's number for contribution. She said she will host the next meeting in your sitting room." Uju's mouth hung open. Jesus! That night, she tried to confront Auntie Nwaneka calmly. "Auntie, I heard you attended women's meeting. You didn't even tell me." My dear, why should I tell you now? I am part of this house now. Anything that concerns you concerns me. I even used your name for the group registration. You are welcome. Don't mention." Uju stared at her speechless. The audacity was spiritual at this point. The next day, when Uju woke up, she found her curtains missing. Nwaneka had cut them into two, saying she wanted to sew a scarf and matching napkin. When Chibu tried to speak up that night, Auntie started crying dramatically. "Chibuzo, so this is how you repay me after all my sacrifices? Do you know how many nights I didn't sleep when you had measles? I used to carry you on my back and pray for your healing. And now, because of this your wife, you are talking to me anyhow, to fear." She burst into tears and locked herself in the guest room. The atmosphere in the house turned cold that night. Uju began to fear her husband's silence. The children started tiptoeing around and even the cats refused to come inside again. Then, one night, as rain poured heavily, Uju couldn't sleep. From the corridor, she heard Auntie's voice again whispering on the phone. "Don't worry, I'm in Lagos now. Everything is under control. Once I get my share, I'll come back. Just make sure that document doesn't reach the elders yet." Uju's heart started pounding. Get my share? Which share? She lay still pretending to sleep, but her mind was turning like grinding stone. From that night, she began to watch Auntie closely, and that was when she noticed that every time the postman dropped letters, Auntie would rush to the gate first. She noticed how she would check Chibu's drawer to clean dust and then slip something into her pockets. The house was no longer just chaotic. It was now suspicious, and Uju was convinced that something far deeper than food and advice had brought this woman to Lagos. By the time the second month rolled in, the Eze household had officially changed From a peaceful home to a reality show called Keeping Up with Aunty Nwaneka. Everybody now walked on eggshells. Even the wall clock ticked slower, as if afraid to make noise around her. Uju had stopped smiling. Her kitchen was no longer her kingdom. It had become a battleground of who owns the pots. Every time she wanted to cook, Aunty Nwaneka would appear like a shadow from nowhere, tying her wrapper tighter and saying, "Shift, let me help you. You young wives of today don't even know how to season meat with prayer." And before Uju could blink, the whole meal would change flavor. One morning, Uju caught her pouring ogiri inside spaghetti. "Auntie, that is spaghetti, not soup." "My dear, that is your problem, oh. You people don't innovate. This is called traditional pasta." The children began complaining secretly. Isioma whispered one night, "Mommy, Auntie said I shouldn't watch cartoon again because mermaids are demons." Ifenna added, "She said she will beat me if I whistle in the night. She said spirits will come out of my mouth." Uju laughed bitterly. "Spirits are already in this house, my children." And then things took a more dramatic turn when small strange things started happening. Money began to disappear from Uju's purse. 1,000 naira notes at a time, and groceries that she bought in bulk kept vanishing, like milk tins, sugar, oil. And yet, Auntie would still complain, "Uju, your house is dry, oh. You people don't buy anything again." One afternoon, Uju pretended to go to the market but stayed behind quietly watching from the window. Just 10 minutes later, she saw Aunty Nwaneka sneaking out with a black nylon bag, glancing left and right like a movie thief. Uju's heart pounded. Where could she be going? She waited until nightfall when Auntie returned, drenched in rain but smiling suspiciously. Uju asked, "Auntie, where did you go?" "Nowhere, oh. I just went to buy onions." "With nylon that big? Lagos onions are heavy, my dear. You won't understand." That night, as the rain drummed on the roof, Uju couldn't sleep. She heard Auntie's voice again, secretive. She was on the phone talking. "Listen, I told you not to bring that document here again. The elders are still angry now. Once I secure myself well in Lagos, I'll face them. For now, let everything rest." Uju sat up quietly. Documents? Elder? Secure myself in Lagos? She tiptoed to the door, holding her breath. Then she heard her say again, "Don't worry, the land won't disappear. I sold it for a good price. They can shout from now till next year." Uju covered her mouth in shock. "Land? Which land?" The next morning, Auntie was her usual loud self, shouting at the radio, eating bread with stew and giving unsolicited sermons. "See, Uju, marriage is like okra soup. If you don't stir it well, it will draw and embarrass you. Always respect your husband." "Thank you, Auntie," Uju muttered, pretending to smile while her heart burned with suspicion. That evening, she told Chibuzo what she heard, but as usual, he dismissed it. "Uju, you and this your suspicion. Auntie is not that kind of person. Maybe she was talking about something else." "Something else like what, Chibuzo?" "She said she sold land and is hiding from elders." "Maybe she meant market women," Chibu shrugged. "Market women, my foot," Uju snapped. "One day, this woman will bring us trouble, oh." And she wasn't wrong, because the next Sunday after service, a stranger came to the house and introduced himself as Ikenna, a family member from Nsukka. "Good afternoon, madam. I am looking for Madam Nwaneka." "Oh, she's sleeping," Uju said in confusion. "Who are you?" "I'm family. I came from the village. Please, don't tell her yet. I just need to confirm she's here." Before Uju could ask anything else, Auntie's voice echoed from inside. "Who is that again? Another beggar?" The man's eyes widened. He stepped inside. "Ah, Aunty Nwaneka." Her plate dropped to the floor. "Ikenna, what are you doing here?" "Auntie, so it is true. You ran away with the land documents. The elders have been looking for you for months." The entire sitting room went quiet, except for the ceiling fan spinning noisily. Uju's heart almost stopped. "What nonsense are you saying?" Auntie stammered, laughing awkwardly. "You people just like to exaggerate." Exaggerate. You sold grandpa's farmland without consulting anyone and ran away. You disappeared with the money. Grandma is sick because of you. Chibuzo came out of his room confused. Aunty, what is going on? Don't mind him, oh, she shouted. This useless boy is jealous because I made smart decisions. Smart decisions? Ikenna backed. You lied that you were coming to Lagos for medical checkup. Instead, you came here to hide. You think we won't find you? The argument exploded like petrol and fire. Aunty began crying and rolling on the floor. God will punish you, Ikenna. You want to destroy me because I am a woman. They pushed me to the wall. That land was my sweat. But Ikenna wasn't moved. He dropped a small brown envelope on the table. That is the petition the family will submit if you don't return home. You have only 2 weeks. Then he left. The silence that followed was deafening. Uju looked at Chibu and Chibu looked at Aunty. Aunty, is it true? Chibu, don't listen to them, oh. They are trying to spoil my name. They are jealous that I am successful. Successful? Aunty, you are hiding in my house like a fugitive. Auntie's face changed instantly. Oh, so you now talk to me like that because of your wife? You have forgotten who fed you Gary when your mother died. Uju stood up sharply. Aunty, please, don't drag my name into this, please. You lied to us and now you are putting our family in danger. Danger? Me? You will regret saying that. She stormed into her room, locked the door and refused to eat that night. But around midnight, Uju woke up to the sound of drawers opening. She tiptoed to the corridor and saw Aunty Nwaneka packing her things quietly into her Ghana must-go bag. Aunty, are you leaving? Aunty froze. Uju, I thought you were asleep. Where are you going to at this hour, Aunty? I'm just going to see somebody at the park. Before Uju could say anything else, Aunty dashed into the night. However, 2 days later, she came back again. This time with a bigger bag and new excuses. I only went to settle small issues in Nsukka. Don't mind that boy, Ikenna. He talks too much. Uju just stood there staring at her blankly because deep inside she knew something dark and unfinished was still following Aunty Nwaneka like a shadow. And then, one hot Thursday afternoon, while Uju was sweeping the sitting room, a black Toyota Camry parked outside and 3 men and 1 woman stepped out, frowning like people who hadn't smiled since the Civil War. Uju quickly ran to call her husband. Chibu, people are outside looking for Aunty. They said they came from Nsukka. Chibu sighed. Again? What did Aunty do this time? They entered the house and before anyone could offer them water, the oldest man with grey beard spoke. We are here concerning our daughter, Nwaneka. She ran away from the village after selling our brother's farmland without consent. We have reported her to the entire clan. She must come back and explain herself. Aunty Nwaneka froze like a goat that heard knife sound. She tried to smile, but the sweat dripping from her forehead betrayed her. See this old man, oh, you left Nsukka to come to Lagos because of small misunderstanding. Can't you people rest? The old man slammed the table. Small misunderstanding? You sold a land worth 2.8 million naira and disappeared. You took the family documents. Now the buyer wants to fence the place and they are even dragging us to court. Chibuzo gasped. Aunty, is this true? What is wrong with selling my father's land? Did I not suffer on that land? Suffer? The younger woman shouted. You didn't even inform anyone before selling it. You forged your brother's signature. The whole sitting room exploded. Uju stood with her hands on her head. Aunty, you brought this kind of wahala into my home. Why now? Shut up, Uju, Aunty Nwaneka backed. You don't know what it means to be an orphan. They all hate me because I refuse to remain poor. The old man shook his head sadly. We already gave you 2 months. If you don't return home for settlements, we'll involve the police. They left, slamming the door. Chibuzo turned to his aunts. Aunty, you've embarrassed us enough. I think it is time for you to go back and clear your name. Go where? Aunty Nwaneka screamed. You want me to go and die? You are now chasing me out because of your wife, Abi? Chibuzo's voice broke. No, Aunty, don't involve my wife, please. I am chasing you out because of peace. We have children in this house. They don't deserve this drama. But Aunty Nwaneka wasn't listening. She burst into fresh tears and fell flat on the floor. "After all I did for you, this is how you repay me. God will judge you." She locked herself in the guest room and refused to come out for 3 days. She stopped eating, only drinking Fanta and muttering scriptures like a wounded prophetess. By the 4th day, Uju had had enough. She went to Chibu and said, "We can't continue like this. I have called her brothers. They will come on Sunday. Whatever happens, let them take her." Chibu didn't even argue. He simply nodded like a tired man who had surrendered to fate. And when Sunday came, 2 family men arrived again, but this time they didn't come empty-handed. They brought a small van. They walked straight in and said, "We've come to carry her back. The elders are waiting." Nwaneka came out wearing dark glasses and carrying her Ghana must go like a celebrity in disgrace. "So, this is how you people will humiliate me, Abi? Fine, I will go, but you will remember me one day." As they escorted her out, she turned to Uju and hissed, "You think you have won, Abi? This your marriage will soon test your patience. Then you will remember Aunty Nwaneka." And with that, she entered the van and they drove off. That night, Uju cooked stew and everyone ate in peace for the first time in months. But as she was about to sleep, she noticed something odd. Her generator cable was gone. She opened her perfume box. It was empty. Her bag of rice, half of it was missing. Uju sat down and laughed hysterically until tears dropped. Even in departure, she didn't forget to collect her souvenir. Peace had returned, yes, but it came at a price. For a few blissful weeks, the house felt new again. The children started laughing freely. Even Chibuzo began returning home early from work. The neighbors congratulated Uju as if she had survived a war. Mama Ifenna said, "Ah, my sister, your deliverance came on time. Oh. If you didn't send her out, she would have sold your windows next." But Lagos has a way of testing peace, and the story wasn't finished yet. One Saturday morning, just as Uju was preparing to go to the market, a knock came on the gate. When she opened it, she nearly dropped her purse. There stood Aunty Nwaneka again. This time, in new clothes and sunglasses, dragging another Ghana must go bag and smiling like nothing ever happened. "Uju, my daughter," she exclaimed. "I just came to pick one small thing I forgot, so only 5 minutes." Uju stood frozen. 5 minutes? Auntie, what are you doing here again now? Don't shout, oh, it is not what you think. I only came for my Bible and my slippers. Before Uju could respond, she had already entered the house. She looked around like someone inspecting her old kingdom. You people even repented. The spirit of progress is here. I told you my presence brings blessings. Chibuzo came out frowning. "Auntie, good morning. You said you came for your Bible?" "Yes, my son," she replied, glancing at the TV. "And maybe I'll just sit small to watch Super Story now. My legs are paining me from the journey." Uju glared at her husband, mouthing silently, "Don't you dare offer her food." However, the 5 minutes became 1 hour and then 2 hours. She told them she missed them. She told Isioma she dreamt she had become a doctor and even told the gate man, "I am back, oh, so you can stop gossiping about me." Uju was about to explode when Chibu quietly pulled her aside. "Calm down. Let's not cause another scene. I will call her people to come pick her again." But before he could make a call, a phone started ringing from Auntie's bag. She quickly snatched it up and went outside. Uju followed her quietly and overheard her whispering, "Yes, I'm in Lagos again. They can't touch me here. Don't worry. Once I collect the last part of the money, I will vanish for real. Don't worry now. I have handled the family." Uju nearly screamed. So she came back to finish her drama. That night, she hatched a plan with her husband. She called her pastor wife, who happened to be from Nsukka, and narrated everything to her. The woman laughed and said, "Leave that to me. I know those people will handle her the village way." 2 days later, a big van arrived again, but this time, it wasn't just relatives. It was village elders dressed in full traditional attire. They came with a chief, a woman leader, and a megaphone. The compound gathered immediately, thinking it was a crusade. The eldest man shouted through the megaphone, "We have come for the daughter who thinks she can run away from her people." Before Aunty could run, they surrounded her. "You have disgraced our lineage enough. Do you think Lagos will hide your shame?" "Leave me alone, oh," Aunty shouted. "I am a born-again Christian now. I have changed." "Born again? You stole our inheritance and you think you can run?" Uju and Chibu just stood aside, embarrassed yet relieved. And in full view of the neighbors, the elders carried her Ghana must go, her nylon bags, her box of emergency seasoning, and marched her out like a prisoner of peace. As they reached the gate, Aunty turned dramatically and shouted, "Uju, remember, the road is long, oh. Don't rejoice too early. Life is turn by turn." Then the van zoomed off, leaving behind a trail of laughter and gossip. That night, Uju sat in her sitting room shaking her head as she told Chibu, "Next time anyone says they are visiting for 2 weeks, I will ask for written agreements and a guarantor." They both laughed until tears rolled down their cheeks. From that day, Uju put a padlock on her guest room door and hung a small sign that said, "Visitors are like fish. After 2 weeks, they begin to smell." And real peace finally came home to stay. Thank you for watching the story. Kindly share your thoughts about the story with me in the comment section. Give the story a thumbs up and share the story out with your loved ones. Subscribe to this channel if you've not done so by now. Until I bring another story your way. Bye!